Have you ever wondered what hypnosis might be and what it can do for you? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Hypnosis Everywhere with your host, Ines Simpson. This is the show that talks to everyone, from the experienced practitioner to the cautiously curious, and yes, even the skeptics. Now, here's Ines Simpson.
Well, welcome to Hypnosis Everywhere, and I'm here with my guest, Rob de Groof, today, and Martin is in the sidelines, but he's there. So we're going to have a very entertaining show today because my guest is a mentalist, a magician, and a hypnotist, and besides being an all-around great guy.
Okay, thank you.
What? Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I haven't told you that yet, but we are in Belgium, which is my place of birth by chance, and I feel very comfortable here. And Rob does some great things, but first thing I want to know from Rob is how he got into hypnosis, mentalism, and all that fun stuff.
So, yeah, I've been on stage for like 20 years now. I started working as a clown, so not as a hypnotist. But yeah, part-time now. I was a full-time clown. No, at first when I left high school, I did some directing studies in Gent.
Mm-hmm.
But I never finished those because I went into theater. I did some plays. I directed some plays as well. I wrote 3 educational plays for school children. One about bullying, one about being blind. Yeah. So, but then I get more into the business of parties and street entertainment. So I had my own firm. I still have that firm, but I'm not working in it anymore. So I performed as a clown, as a juggler, as a stilt walker, as a magician, and so those were the things that I did. And once upon a time, I was on this fair where I was also had a booth as an artist, and so there was a hypnotist working, and I was really interested in hypnosis because when I was like 16 years old, I was in the board of it was like scouts or something.
Yeah.
But it was not for most of the scouts here, and here is for religious people. I'm an atheist, so it was like a youth gathering for people who don't believe in God. And we had an hypnotist over there. It did a lecture, all things about hypnosis. I remember he did some balloons and books with us, those little exercises, but one of the girls that was there, she asked him a question about regression. Mm-hmm. She lost her mom when she was like 7 years old, and she didn't have much memory of her mother, the things that she used to do with her mother. She know how she looks because of the pictures, of course. And she asked the hypnotist, "Can you bring me back to the period that my mother was still alive, so I can have some other memories?" And he says, "Yeah, okay, no problem. But remember, it could be some emotional things going on. So I don't know if you really want to do it here with all your friends looking." She said, "No problem. I really want to do it." So he regressed her. It was very emotional, there were a lot of tears and everything. But and she started describing all those memories with her mother. But her niece was also there, and she was like 5 years older. So she started confirming to us, "Yeah, that's really what's going on. There's something I remember that was happening." So at that moment, I said, "Oh, this thing is real," because I'm quite skeptic. And it planted this little seed in my mind about hypnosis. I never did anything with it. I never read a book about hypnosis later. But then I really started getting interested in using hypnosis in my entertainment. I really want to become a stage hypnotist. I didn't have any intent to become a therapist. Some people, they say, "Yeah, but you have to combine it with therapy." I say, "No, you're crazy. I'm not a therapist. I'm never going to do therapy." okay, here we are. So, and then I started learning it to do in entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the first things I got from hypnosis, and something I tell my students all the time, is you can't become a good hypnotist when you are not practicing it every day. Especially in the beginning, when you're learning, you have to do it. It's hypnosis. Do it.
Doing is the important part.
Not reading books, just do it. So, but then the problem came that in Belgium, actually, hypnosis for entertainment is forbidden. We do it anyway because we're Belgians. It's the way we are living here. So no, but nobody is acting on it. The only time they were acting on it is a few months ago with the Canadian hypnotist Mesmer. He was here, and they planned shows in all different cities, French-speaking cities, of course. And one show was cancelled because somebody made a complaint, and so the I don't know the name in English, but the big chief of justice at that
had to do something.
At that area, he said that the show couldn't go on, but 2 weeks later in Brussels, there were 2,500 people in his venue, and it went on. So that's how Belgium is working. So at that time, I already know that when I want to become a good hypnotist, I have to find something to be able to hypnotize people on a daily basis to become really good. And then somebody called me, somebody I met on a gathering with other hypnotists, and he called me. He said, "Yeah, I bought these DVDs from Jeffrey Stevens." And I say, "Yeah, what is it? Is it stage hypnosis, street hypnosis?" "No, it's therapy." He said, "I don't want to do therapy. It's not my thing. I don't like it." Because for me, therapy was like I saw somebody lying on a couch for like 3 hours, and you start talking, and then he said, "Yeah, you really have to watch these DVDs because that's no nonsense hypnosis. It's written on your body." And I got the DVDs. I started watching them, and after 2 hours watching those DVDs, I went to my staff from my other firm at that time, and I said, "Okay, guys, you can't disturb me this today because I really want to watch the rest of the DVDs. So I'm not available today." So I watched them in one track, and I started using. And I was thinking that type of hypnosis, the direct hypnosis, it's only like 15 to 20 minute sessions, people just sitting there and you talking to them, and I say, okay, maybe that's something for me. So I started doing it. The good thing for me was that I don't have to learn how to communicate with people because I was on stage for like 20 years. So whenever I hear something, I can repeat it. I just have to adapt it to my style, and so I started doing it with great results. And I told my wife maybe I can make a little website, and I made this really bad-looking website. It says Hypnotherapy Aarschot. And I know for my other firm that Google AdWords were really good working for that type of business. And then I did some investigation. I saw there was not many hypnotherapists on Google AdWords at that time. Now every student of mine is on, of course, because I learned them. So, but now I started doing some AdWords, and after like 3 months, my schedule was like full. So I remember a day my secretary was coming to me and she says, "Hey, Rob, that somebody's calling for Wednesday, that date, and she really wants a session." I said, "Hey, just book her in. But you already have 7 sessions a day." I said, "Yeah, what? I have other work to do." So it starts growing like it was unbelievable, because one of the reasons was that there were the only people working in Belgium were doing like this 4, 5, 6 sessions therapy. So you have to come back and back again, because even for stop smoking, for the really simple things, you have to come back like 5 times. So yeah, that's how I started, and it grew, and that's how.
And now you teach Jeffrey Stevens.
Yeah, Jeffrey came to Belgium 2 times to do his training here. He never trained in my center, because in the beginning I didn't have it, of course. So I ran the room, so a venue somewhere. you do this training, and after the training, we start talking about doing the trainings more often in Europe. And so I became his trainer for Europe, together with my colleague from the Netherlands. And so we start doing trainings. And after his death, the family contacted me to give me the rights to train it worldwide. So now I'm traveling around and doing the training worldwide. So.
Do you know what I like about it? It's that you say direct hypnosis, but that means, I'm going to explain what that means. That means he's talking straight to the subconscious. And Jeffrey Stevens, if I don't know all my history that well, but I would assume, because it was back then, that he was actually one of the first. I won't say he was the first, because there might have been other ones. But many of us are still talking to the conscious part of us predominantly. And then we call it, we bypass the critical factor, and that's all good. But when you're still talking only to more address the conscious, then you don't have the same impact.
Yeah. That's one of the strong things of this protocol. At a certain moment in the session, you really start talking a little bit to the conscious mind. He says, conscious mind, you don't have to listen anymore. So just keep enjoying this deep trance that you're enjoying. Whatever you're enjoying, just do that. And now I'm talking to the subconscious mind. And for me, it makes sense also, because it's totally the subconscious mind we need to make the changes. So that's well,
we keep telling people the conscious part is the smallest part of us, and then we say all the stuff to the conscious instead of dealing with who we need to deal with. And today there's much more. There's a swan in all kinds of ways, but I think all of these are very astoundingly good. And what we talk about here, that hypnosis is different styles, and it's good. And you'll be drawn to the one and the hypnotist that does the right one for you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think it's good that there are so many styles out there, because everybody is different. So I always... sometimes my students, especially when they did first my 7-day training, and then they start doing master classes also with people like you coming over, and sometimes they get confused, because sometimes
they're very different.
Yeah, they're different. Sometimes they come and they say, but she's telling something totally different than you. So that's normal. It's a different approach. But keep in mind that you can put as many tools in your toolbox, and that you just grab them whenever you need them.
And when it's feeling good for you. So we're just going to tie up this one. I don't even have to say, gee, we'll be back and see you on the other side, because I get to see you through the whole time.
Yeah.
That's great. So we're going to break.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
We know lasers are in use in almost every aspect of the medical profession these days. Now there's a powerful, unique, and safe laser you can use at home. Quantum scalar wave lasers using Tesla technology allow the body to do what it does best: heal itself. Scalar wave lasers work down to the cellular level and can even reset cellular memory for outstanding outcomes. The quantum lasers use 3 different wavelengths in one laser for optimum results. It's government approved and safe for home use. For more information, visit Simpson Protocol /lasers or click the banner on this show's webpage.
Hi, Ines Simpson here, the host of Hypnosis Everywhere on Voice America, and I'm here to give myself a plug. I want to plug 3 things that give me joy in my practice. First is working one-on-one with clients, to work with them to get the outcome they desire. And as you know from the show, hypnosis covers a broad spectrum. And as a Voice America listener, I'm offering you a free consult. If you're curious or you feel hypnosis may help you and you want to find out more, go to InesSimpson.com and click on my client page. Second, mentoring. I love to work with hypnotists, new or who've been in the field for some time, and they want to change things up or move ahead or whatever it may be. You can find out everything at InesSimpson.com /mentoring. Third thing,
the Simpson Protocol. I'm passionate about teaching hypnosis, and especially Simpson Protocol, which I teach around the world. And you can find out all about that at simpsonprotocol.com. Talk soon.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
You're listening to Hypnosis Everywhere, the Simpson Protocol. To reach the show today, please call into 1-866-472-5792. That's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email to Ines, that's INES, at InesSimpson.com. Now, back to this week's program.
Well, welcome back to our second portion of Hypnosis Everywhere with Rob de Groof, and we're in Belgium. And we're on our teaching tour. We'll get to be gone for another 6 weeks or so. But right now, this is one of my favorite places to be. And I have one of my favorite people with me.
That's me.
No, that's not you at the moment. Later, maybe.
Yeah, maybe later.
So we were talking all about this hypnosis style of direct hypnosis, talking to the subconscious. So maybe tell me a little bit about Jeffrey Stevens himself and a little bit of his history, because I really don't know that much about him.
Well, I know he was born in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He used to live in Peevely. It's a very small city. I never had a chance to visit him over there. It's like 45 minutes drive from St. Louis or something. Yeah. I know his son always told me, we are going out in St. Louis. And I said, yeah, so it's close by. Yeah, so only 45-minute drive. Yeah, in Belgium, it sounds crazy when you drive 45 minutes to go have a drink, because when you drive like 45 minutes in Belgium, you are at the other side of the country. So that's
yes.
that's
totally different mindset.
Yeah, totally different mindset. So I know he used to work in it was a DTP artist, so designing logos and things like that. And then he started hypnotizing, I think, when he was like 12 years old or something, because...
the best of us do.
Yeah. So, I was a little older. No, but... I know he developed this protocol by hypnotizing a lot of people and finding the best ways and then combining it. And at the end, he had this protocol. It is not the only thing that he also has this the black room technique, symbology technique. It's also great. I'm teaching that one in the Jeffrey Stevens Advanced class. And he also had he was also very into reading a lot. He was like an encyclopedia. When you start talking with him, he knows a lot of stuff.
Sort of like Martin.
Something like that. Yeah.
So, I got sidetracked now because I did have you talking about that, but I never got to your mentalism and magician stuff.
Oh, yeah. The thing is, I started, I did magic for children. So it was in my clown shows. I had rabbits at home, and I also did this illusion show where I had two assistants. One of the assistants was Shana. She's working here now as a hypnotherapist. So she was also, and she is still, when we are doing a hypnosis show, she's my
pretty good
sidekick.
Clown. I've seen her.
Yeah. But she's going to move to South Africa next year. So she's going to work with wildlife over there. So now I'm more into mentalism, and I'm also writing a book now. It's called Mentalism for Hypnotherapists. So I'm explaining the basic skills of mentalism. So why I want to teach mentalism to hypnotherapists, because especially in Belgium and all of Europe, maybe in the UK it's a little bit easier, but when you in Europe and you you want to do some impromptu hypnosis, some out of the blue hypnosis or street hypnosis, and you just ask somebody, hey, can I hypnotize you? They start running. They run like the 100 meters in like 8 seconds. So it's like the world record. But when you first, you're able to do something else, like a little mentalism trick, and you can give it like a hypnotic way. So you'd say, let's do something with your subconscious mind. Instead of I'm going to read your mind, you just use it the subconscious mind. So you can like warm up people to do later some hypnosis, because when you go really cold in, they're scared. They're gone. So that's.
I know, it's funny, but that's still not just here. I think that's all over the world, and that's what this show is about, to change that, because people are start to understand that hypnosis isn't a bad word. In fact, they're all naturally in it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring the voices up, he says.
Yeah, okay. Will do. No, so that's why I'm writing this book now. And also on Hypnototes in Las Vegas, I'm going to do a presentation about mentalism for hypnotherapists. Mm-hmm. So we're also creating some package tricks that people can buy. Because I know a hypnotherapist is not a magician, is not a mentalist. So I'm not going to create those fancy tricks where they have to do like sleight of hands. Mm-hmm. I'm not good at it in myself. So in our with all of our friends, we're going to the Blackpool Magic Convention, and whenever somebody, yeah, you really, he's starting to get jealous, maybe.
Yes, bring the voice out.
It's a big room here, so
yes.
So and there some people are just my friends. They are walking around and they say, "Yeah, we saw a very good trick," and somebody asked, is it a difficult one? I said, no, Rob can do it. So, so then everybody knows it's a quite simple trick. So I'm not good in sleight of hands. That's why I became a hypnotist, because you can work with your voice. It's better for me. It's better for me than working with my hands.
Yeah,
it's the same at our home when something has to be done by the hands, like putting something on the wall. I have to ask my wife. She will do it. And I will do the cooking. So yeah, that's
well, it works for me.
Yeah.
So, but I find, the whole idea of mentalism playing into hypnosis is really a strong thing for me, because I understand, but I also know that mentalism, from my perspective, seems quite difficult. Yeah. So when when you train people to do that, I'm going to be the fly on the wall.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Okay.
But no, it's not that difficult. The mentalism skills are not that difficult, especially in the basic ones. But for mentalism, it's all in the presentation. Mm-hmm. When you just walk up to somebody and you say, "Pick a card," and now I'm going to read your mind. It's the Three of Clubs. Yeah, it's impressing, but it's not that impressing when you just combine it with some hypnosis. Then it's more impressing. It's also the story around. So why are you picking the card? Why are you asking them to write something down? So it's more in that than just I'm going to read your mind. So that's
I've seen some pretty good mentalists, and I still scratch my head, even though I sort of have an idea.
Yeah, but that's a good thing of it. I always tell my students I have this tradition when I do a training. I always do the trick of the day. So after the lunch break, I start with a mentalism trick, and then they say, "Oh, are you going to explain it?" No, that's a different training. So yeah, a little bit promotion, of course. But I always tell my students, and that's against the business. I always tell them, if you just want to sign up for this training, just to know the secrets, don't, because the magic is gone. Whenever you go to a show, I know when I the last time we were in Las Vegas together with my wife, we were sitting and watching some magic shows, and then afterwards we were telling, oh, this was done like this was done like this was done, and even my wife, she knows the tricks, because sometimes she has to help me to find or to create something, and she's selling those tricks in her shop as well, so she knows the secrets, not all of them, but she knows most of the secrets. So for her, it's also the magic is gone. So I always tell my students, if you really want to perform it, even just for friends and family, it's good, then sign up for the training. But when it's just to know how it's happening, don't. Because the magic is gone, the fun is gone then. So, and sometimes it's more fun in getting overwhelmed by what they are doing. And I can guarantee you, and I always tell my students as well, the moment I will explain you the trick, you will like, huh? Is it that simple?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really that simple, but that's a good presenter on stage. He can make it so big, and that's a good thing about mentalism.
Seen a few good ones for sure. So next question: how are we doing on time? We've got time. We got about 3 minutes left. So, what about the magic part? You downplay the magic part. You do a little more mentalism, and now actually predominantly hypnosis in a lot of trainings. Just like you say, I've been here 3 times. We've all kinds of people come here. You're affiliated and well known around the world for being a great host and also a great hypnotist.
Thank you.
So, well, I just say what I think and now I know. So, but it's all good. So really the kind of hypnosis, we're going to get back to that and a little bit about doing very direct hypnosis. I mean, he did say, and I'm going to repeat it for you, he did say there are about 15 or 20 minute. Okay. I'm supposed to yell at you now, so here I will. And 15 to 20 minute sessions sounds astounding to most of us, even as hypnotists. So, and, I know my protocol is much longer than that. About an hour. Like I just did a session, it was about an hour, and it has a totally different perspective, and it goes for a very holistic issues, so that it covers anything and everything that's possible. But when you're doing a smoking cessation session, and you can do that in 20 minutes.
I actually do
most
it
of the time.
in 8 minutes. When I do it in Dutch, it's in 8 minutes.
Oh, because you can talk faster.
Yeah, I'm a fast speaker. Normally when you do it in the normal speaking voice, it's like 12, 15 minutes. It depends on how many deepeners you have to use. But for me, it is quite standard stop smoking session. But when I do it in English, it's more like the normal speaking way. So I do it like 14, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's enough because, especially for stop smoking, because for me, the most important thing is first people really want to quit smoking.
Yeah, that's you can't do anything.
Yeah, you can do whatever therapy, whatever approach. Yeah. It's not going to work when they, on a conscious level, they don't want to quit smoking. Yeah. My wife is a smoker. Some people they tell me, oh, why are you always telling that your wife is a smoker? It's bad marketing. No, it's not bad marketing. For me, it's the very good example that it's my profession to stop people from smoking, but it's not because it's my profession that she has to quit smoking.
No,
she's Bulgarian. In Bulgaria, everybody is smoking. Yes. It's tradition there.
Yeah,
it's.
So in 30 seconds, I'm just going to close it down for the next one. But at 30 seconds, I have to say that that's what he's saying. You cannot help people unless they want you to help them. And she thinks that smoking is great, and that's fine. I agree with that, and it's wonderful. So we're going to go to break.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
We know lasers are in use in almost every aspect of the medical profession these days. Now there's a powerful, unique, and safe laser you can use at home. Quantum scalar wave lasers using Tesla technology allow the body to do what it does best, heal itself. Scalar wave lasers work down to the cellular level and can even reset cellular memory for outstanding outcomes. The quantum lasers use 3 different wavelengths in one laser for optimum results. It's government approved and safe for home use. For more information, visit Simpson Protocol/lasers or click the banner on this show's webpage.
Hi, Ines Simpson here, the host of Hypnosis Everywhere on Voice America, and I'm here to give myself a plug. I want to plug 3 things that give me joy in my practice. First is working one-on-one with clients, to work with them to get the outcome they desire. And as you know from the show, hypnosis covers a broad spectrum. And as a Voice America listener, I'm offering you a free consult If you're curious or you feel hypnosis may help you and you want to find out more, go to InesSimpson.com and click on my client page. Second, mentoring. I love to work with hypnotists, new or who've been in the field for some time, and they want to change things up or move ahead or whatever it may be. You can find out everything at InesSimpson.com/mentoring. Third thing, the Simpson Protocol. I'm passionate about teaching hypnosis and especially Simpson Protocol, which I teach around the world. And you can find out all about that at SimpsonProtocol.com. Talk soon.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to Facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to Facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
You're listening to Hypnosis Everywhere, the Simpson Protocol. To reach the show today, please call into 1-866-472-5792. That's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email to Ines, that's INES, at InesSimpson.com. Now, back to this week's program.
And welcome back to Hypnosis Everywhere in Belgium today, and we're talking to Rob de Groof. And I've been told by my director, Martin Gover, who is now no longer my co-host, but is telling me exactly what I should be doing, which is fine.
Ines, can I get some coffee now over here, please?
So what did you tell me, Martin? We were so going to talk about the smoking, and not just the smoking, because weight loss is another big thing in hypnosis. Now, Rob also teaches the Sheila Granger's gastric band. Isn't that true?
Correct.
Yeah. And so I'll let you talk about a little bit about weight loss maybe and how hypnosis, from your point of view, works for all those things.
Yeah. So for weight loss, in the beginning, I did the weight loss sessions on the Jeffrey Stevens style, so just one session. And then I get invited by somebody to do the Sheila Granger training in Belgium. It was in Belgium. I was the only Belgian guy. They were all people from the Netherlands, but the training was in Belgium. So she called me, and I was not that interested in it because I also thought, there's long sessions and everything, and it's not my cup of tea. And she said, but I will invite you and just come over. So, and then she gave me a discount and said, I don't have anything to do the weekend. So I went there. And already when the training was like 5 hours going on, in my mind, I started implanting that protocol in my business. And in my mind, I already had designed this little leaflet to give people, so they had something extra. And the Sunday evening, I already decided, okay, let's give it a try, and we started doing it. And in the beginning, I was like doubting, and I know all my students are doing it as well. I had a training this weekend for the virtual gastric band, and when I tell them that they have to give it a certain price, they start doubting because our people really going to invest that in a virtual gastric band because it's not really there. Of course, it's just virtual. But we had great results. The results were so great that was the time that I started growing the business with other therapists. I really needed other therapists because for me, I know a lot of therapists. They are making advertising of their waiting list, but I don't want the waiting list because when somebody really wants to change, you can't tell them, okay, it's very good, you want to change, keep that mind on because you have to wait 3 months. No, it's not possible, especially for stop smoking. After 3 months, and then they have an appointment, everything could be changed. Their life could be changed, their relation, they could have a divorce, they could have been sacked at work. So the momentum is not there anymore, so they probably don't want to quit smoke anymore. So for me, I don't want the waiting list that's longer than 2 weeks. People have to be able to make an appointment. So that's why I have this many therapists working for me. And then we start doing the virtual gastric band, and we had those great results. And now we're still doing the 1 session thing for weight loss. I did one today, and we're also doing the virtual gastric band. And for me, even when people make the 1 session appointment, I give them the advice to do the virtual gastric band. And it's not because the 1 session thing is not working, but people don't understand the working of it. Because at the 1 session thing, we're just going to program the subconscious mind to go to a different weight. Yeah. So maybe sometimes from like 80 kilo to 60 kilo. So yeah, we're speaking in kilos here in Belgium. So yeah, I can't do, I think
2.2 pounds per kilo.
Oh yeah, something like that. You can do the calculation yourself. So, and then I just instruct the subconscious mind to make all the changes necessary to go to that new goal, that new weight. But the problem is, especially with women who did already so many diets, they are used to following rules. So they come out of my therapy room and they drive home, and they are thinking, what I have to do now? Yeah, nothing, because your subconscious mind is on the job. But then like 2 weeks later, they call me and they say, yeah, nothing's changed yet. I say, okay, that's possible, because your subconscious mind is doing it on the most, on the best rhythm, the most safe way. So and then they start doubting, and then sometimes they send me an email after 3 weeks, because we have an automatic email asking how is everything going, and then they say nothing is happening, and the day after I immediately start my diet. No, I don't want you to do a diet. It's your subconscious mind doing it. The diet is conscious level. So so sometimes they don't, especially those when you have somebody here and I ask him or her, did you already do a lot of diets? And they say no, but now I start gaining some weight, and I don't feel good with that. That's great, because they are not used to doing all those diets. But the moment I hear them telling about all the diets they did, I know they need more than a 1 session, because they don't understand the way of working. So with the virtual gastric band, there are some rules that they have to follow on a conscious level, and they need it. That's why I made the leaflet. So because they have to write down especially not their weight, of course, but how many times they listen to the MP3, how much practice they did, like having a walk or something. So they are on a conscious level. They also have to do something.
They have to be involved.
And they have to be involved, because they're used to do it. And that's why we have such good results with the virtual gastric band.
For a slight explanation for the people who are listening who are not hypnotists, I'll tell you a little bit about virtual gastric band. We talk about people who go in for the real gastric band, and my issue with that is usually they don't get much emotional support. None. But when you're doing the emotional work with the gastric band, even though it's virtual, what's real and imagined is actually the person's reality. And it's proved that placebos, even when people know it's not a real thing, that it works fine if they want it in the first place.
Of course. Yeah, for me, it's the problem, and I'm always explaining it to my clients. The problem with the real gastric band is they're changing the infrastructure, but they're not changing your way of thinking.
No.
So if you're a binge eater, or you're an emotional eater, or you're a stress eater, it's not changing because of the fact that your stomach is smaller. Because in your mind everything is the same. So they start finding ways to eat a lot of stuff. I hear sometimes I had like 5 or 6 even more people who already had the real gastric band, and then they are coming here for the virtual one, because the way of thinking. And then they tell stories like they put all they want to eat together somewhere, and then they mix it so that it can pass through the stomach. So it's crazy.
So if you go for gastric band, the real one, please get some hypnotic help also, and maybe think of having the virtual one first.
It's safer anyway. Yeah, it's much safer.
Much
because
easier.
I don't know how it's in United States or in Canada, but here, like 50% of the people with a real gastric band have problems afterwards. They have a lot of I talked with some nurses, and they say 50% of them, they have troubles. They have to come back to do some reparation, or they have problems with their health because
and iron levels are bad in the body and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, really think about it. And I know that I had a friend who had a gastric band years before I was ever a hypnotist, and she still has some issues, and we've worked a lot with hypnosis, but she has some physical issues that are there.
Yeah, of course. It's not the safest way. So
4 minutes. Good. So, so what do you want to talk about now? I like this being one-on-one right here. I don't have to use a phone. I can just say, what do you want to talk about now?
We can talk about everything.
So, director, tell us, where are we going?
What do you see? If you're talking to a person who goes hypnosis, that's kind of
Okay. Yeah. For me, hypnosis. It's probably because of my training with Jeffrey. For me, hypnosis is not relaxation. A lot of people, they are using relaxation techniques, and a lot of people they think you have to be in a very relaxed state to get hypnotized. For me, not. It's also because I did a lot of street hypnosis, stage hypnosis. People are not relaxed at that time. Most of the time they are like nervous because they are in the middle of attention. So you don't need to be relaxed to go into hypnosis. I remember Jeffrey was always saying, he always said, I never use the word relax in my session, and I never do it. And for one of the reasons he says is, I can't use the word relax because 20 minutes later the session is done and I want them to leave my office. They don't need to be relaxed. So that's something for me. It's also really important. I don't do the talk afterwards with the clients, because that's the most important reason why some sessions fail, because they start talking after the session. It's crazy. So for me hypnosis is like being concentrated, being focused on the hypnotist voice, following the instructions, and just let go. And just at that moment, you just give the key of your mind in the hand of the hypnotist, just to make positive changes when we're talking about therapy. And when it's entertainment, just to have fun, because people are really enjoying it.
See, I'm glad we agree on things, because I don't think relaxation is part of. We sometimes put it in as part of hypnosis, but it is not hypnosis.
It's not hypnosis. For me, relaxation can be the result of hypnosis, but you don't need relaxation to get people into hypnosis.
Anyway, we're going to break, and thanks again. We're going to go one more session after this. Okay, off we go.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
We know lasers are in use in almost every aspect of the medical profession these days. Now there's a powerful, unique, and safe laser you can use at home. Quantum scalar wave lasers using Tesla technology allow the body to do what it does best: heal itself. Scalar wave lasers work down to the cellular level and can even reset cellular memory for outstanding outcomes. The quantum lasers use 3 different wavelengths in one laser for optimum results. It's government approved and safe for home use. For more information, visit Simpson Protocol /lasers or click the banner on this show's webpage.
Hi, Ines Simpson here, the host of Hypnosis Everywhere on Voice America, and I'm here to give myself a plug. I want to plug 3 things that give me joy in my practice. First is working one-on-one with clients, to work with them to get the outcome they desire. And as you know from the show, hypnosis covers a broad spectrum. And as a Voice America listener, I'm offering you a free consult. If you're curious or you feel hypnosis may help you and you want to find out more, go to InesSimpson.com and click on my client page. Second, Mentoring. I love to work with hypnotists, new or who've been in the field for some time, and they want to change things up or move ahead or whatever it may be. You can find out everything at InesSimpson.com/mentoring. Third thing, the Simpson Protocol. I'm passionate about teaching hypnosis and especially Simpson Protocol, which I teach around the world. And you can find out all about that at SimpsonProtocol.com. Talk soon.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to Facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to Facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
You're listening to Hypnosis Everywhere, the Simpson Protocol. To reach the show today, please call into 1-866-472-5792. That's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email to Ines, that's INES, at InesSimpson.com. Now, back to this week's program.
Welcome back to our last session. So, partly what we usually do on this last session is usually I do this by myself, but since you're here, you're here. Well, we do it by ourselves usually. And it's usually a little bit about giving tools to people and advice on what to do as being mentally cognizant of what they're doing in their life and things like that, tools for them.
Okay, yeah.
So if you have any little tools that you give your clients, maybe we can have a chat about that or anything like that.
One of the things I'm also using for myself a lot is I read it in the books of Dr. Joseph Murphy. Sometimes people ask me, do you know a good book about hypnosis? For me, it's more interesting in reading books about the subconscious mind. And I have this YouTube channel where I do the tips for the mind. So one of the things that I'm teaching there is using visualizations. For me, it's even I'm not a good visualizer, but it's for everybody. Whenever you have a goal, take a few moments during the day, just close your eyes and visualize that you're already reached the goal. But the visualization only is not enough. You also have to feel the emotions, the things that you will, let's say you just imagine yourself that you have this new job. Just imagine the car that's coming along. Just imagine the office, the paycheck that's coming along. Maybe the beautiful secretary. If that's whatever it's in, and also feel how it would feel. Do the emotion with it, because that makes it stronger. And so the subconscious mind will get it and will help you in reaching the goal. Of course, the subconscious mind is not gonna decide if you get a job or not, but it's gonna make all the changes that you're going to be better at your job, that you're going to because when you're sitting in your couch and always thinking it's not going to be for me, the promotion, probably somebody else, then you're thinking about negative, and your subconscious mind will think that is what you want, and will make you act like that. So it's really important. And another thing I read in a book, it's when you start talking negative to yourself, or just when you say something negative to yourself, and you realize it, then a very good thing that you can do is just imagine like a stop sign. But I changed it for myself because the stop sign is not that strong for me. But the moment I say something negative to myself, I just imagine that I'm having my keyboard for my computer, and I can put delete, and I see the negative suggestion that I gave myself. I see it disappearing, and that's something, because people are telling themselves so many negative suggestions during a day. So the moment you realize it, just imagine that you're deleting it, or imagine a stop sign, or imagine that's on a whiteboard and you're erasing it or something like that. You just use your imagination.
I had a friend who always did cancel.
Yeah, something like that.
I think I do delete.
Delete, delete
for me to work. I think most days now, because most people are doing computer work.
I think it's easier to imagine than writing it on a blackboard or something that I don't think they use blackboards in schools anymore. So
that's a great tool, people. I know. I don't think I've even told you about that. I've talked about it and how the mind does all that and everything, but that is such a great thing. I used to just say stop or cancel, all those things, but pick the one that works for you.
Yeah, just something that you can imagine that you have a strong feeling about it, and then it will work. So that's and don't forget, whenever you visualize something, to put the emotion in it. So just feel like it already happened, even when you're just imagine that you're being at the weight that you want to be. Just feel how it would be for you. You feel better, you feel more self-confident.
And the subconscious picks it up because it is your feeling level mind.
Yeah, of course.
And that picks it up. So important when you're doing it that you use all your senses.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
As much as possible.
As much as possible.
We all use them in different varieties and different ways, but we all use all of them. Yeah.
No.
And you do self-hypnosis courses? Do you see it teaching?
Yeah, we have self-hypnosis courses here in our hypnosis center, because it's also one of the things. It's something that Jeffrey was always saying. There's no such thing as self-hypnosis, and I believe it. I'm into it. There's no such thing as self-hypnosis. You can't learn to hypnotize yourself by reading a book. That's
not by reading. No,
that's
well,
what
not
he meant.
easily, for sure.
That's what he meant. He always and when I was doing the self-hypnosis trainings here, now Shanna is doing them and Candice is doing them in Antwerp. I always start with there's no such thing as self-hypnosis, and then you saw the people's faces because they just paid to be in a training about self-hypnosis. So they were thinking, oh, this is a scam. No, but then I explained it. So for me, self-hypnosis.
You've got all my listeners sitting there doing that.
Yeah, right now. Of course. No. The good thing to learn self-hypnosis is first get hypnotized by a hypnotist. So the critical faculty is bypassed. And then he or she is gonna install an anchor, so you can go back to that state. But you can't go to that state just by reading a book, because the critical faculty will never be bypassed. So just ask a hypnotist to hypnotize you, to install an anchor to get into self-hypnosis, and that's how we do it. We just hypnotize the entire training room, everybody in, and we just install an anchor, just like a code word or something, or a gesture, and they can go back whenever they want, and that's the good way of learning self-hypnosis.
Well, those are all the same, sort of slightly different than what I do, but mostly the same. Yeah. And we come from the same way of thinking. And I want the people out there to know that there's no such thing as self-hypnosis that you can do easily by yourself. But once you've done it once with a hypnotist, or even on my free self-hypnosis site.
Okay, but then
but
they're listening to you.
They're listening, and it's visual, you see.
Yeah, but that's not reading
sometimes
a book.
they can even have it visual. So
of course,
it's the whole thing. But it's so important that you do self-hypnosis. I can beat this to death each and every session. But, you can change your whole life, and then you can still come see us when you want some really major work done, or anything at all. Anything's big in your life that you don't maybe trust your own self to do that. But, everyday change is incremental, and it happens really well when you do self-hypnosis.
Yeah, one tip I can give to the listeners: don't want to change yourself overnight.
No.
Because sometimes I have it with clients as well. So they have like 15 years, 20 years of problems, and then they want to change everything.
In one session.
In one session, yeah. So they want to change every problem they have. So even for myself, I don't do it. I had those migraines, those tension headaches. Okay, they're gone now. I had a sleeping problem, a very bad sleeping problem. It's gone now. But I don't change everything overnight, because your mind, your body is not ready to change everything overnight. No. And most of the time you're on a conscious level, you're not ready to change everything, because you always need to change a little bit about yourself as well, also on a conscious level, because you can't expect that I can do magic, but it's different kind of magic. It's a different kind of magic. I once had this lady calling me the day after a weight loss session to say that.
1 minute.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, that it didn't work. So I don't know what she was
Yeah.
expecting, but she expected maybe that the kilograms were lying next
Yes.
to her bed or something.
Actually,
I don't know.
I know a hypnotist that got that kind of comment. I haven't lost anything yet. It was
Yeah.
an hour later.
An hour later. Okay. Yeah. Oh, great.
But anyway, next week we're having Natalie Fisset, Ashley Fisset, because she's French. Natalie Fisset on, and she's from Montreal, and she does birthing and stuff.
Listen quickly.
So you may have to listen a few times to the show because she talks quickly and tells you lots of information. Thank you, and see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for being a part of the show today. Be sure to tune in next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 11 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel for another edition of Hypnosis Everywhere, the Simpson Protocol, with host Ines Simpson. We can't wait to have you join us again next week.